Hi, everyone. How are you? Let's see. Cece, good morning. Natalie, good morning. Don, hello. I can't watch live, just leave. Sounds good. Sounds good. Yes, so today is Friday the 16th, and we are here. So we're going to be working on this page before we jump in. Just a couple quick things to share with you. Number one, hang on, my music's a little loud on my end. If it's a little loud on your end too, let me know. Sounds good. Thank you, Kara. Hi, Linda. How are you? Okay, so small victories. There was actually two episodes that I did over the last week or so. So we have this one done and complete. The goal was to make it look like neon lights. I don't know. I've been trying to think of unique things that I can do with each of these pages. You want to know what's funny though? The episode for this page has it's my highest viewed video of all time. So, you know, that's good news. So there was this one, and then I followed it up with this one. This one I've had in my head when I talked with you guys about it a little bit, but I had in my head, why is that wrinkled? Anyway, I've had this in my head for a while, so I knew what I wanted to do with it. So we had Prismacolors for the background, and then I did paint for the little gold one. Next up, we've got these two. Now I've colored like this one? This snail. I colored this snail. I haven't done any of these other motifs. Got a little bit of transfer from the black and blue. When you do such big backgrounds with Prismacolors, you tend to get a little bit of the pencil dust on the other side. Hi, Eduardo, welcome. But also I only speak English, I'm sorry, so I won't be able to respond. Let's see. Thanks, Cece. Well, yeah, I've gotten that feedback a lot, and people like to see different and unique things. So I usually spend some time. That's why this one was done so quickly, because I knew in my head what I wanted it to be already. So I don't know what I want these to be yet. I'm having a hard time seeing anything other than this one. But we did color cubes for these ones. I did not for these, so it might be time to break out another color cube, perhaps. So we'll see. I need to think on it. I have a few more things I want to get done before I work on the next page. I know people want to see the episode sooner, but you know, got to find some balance. Because we have this one. This is going to be in the shop. It is a new page. It is not going to be the monthly download for next month. I am still working on that one. It's almost done. It's actually going to be a fairy house made out of a typewriter. So I'm really, honestly, I think it's probably one of my new favorites, but it's not done yet. I've been drawing it during the car pickup line, which leaves me about an hour to an hour and a half to work on it. So fingers crossed I get that one soon. But this one's not up in the shop yet because I want to color it and I want to make a video of it before I post it. So this here is going to be like all kind of glowy. We got these lights up here. So I have plans. I don't know what pencils I use. My instinct says Prismacolors, but I'm not entirely sure. Either way, this one will be up in the shop when I'm done coloring. My goal, hopefully, is this weekend. Hi, Kara. Thank you, Cece. So this one isn't the members only page. This one is going to go in the shop. So I will let you guys know whenever that is. So we'll put that over there. The other thing is, so Notes from Nature comes out in February, I believe. I've got it on pre-order. So it's like I order it months in the past and then I don't think about it until it arrives in the mail. But I'm working on... Oh, thank you. Thank you. I am hopefully working on a special interview with Johanna. We've scheduled a couple times, but I had to cancel once, and then she had to cancel once, and then they got snowed in. So it's coming at some point. It's not going to be a live interview. I'm going to do a short reel version of it, but we haven't rescheduled yet because they're getting out of their freeze and everything, but hopefully soon. But in the meantime, if you are excited about Notes from Nature, she has a free download on her website. She's posted about it. I don't know if she's got it in her stories or her bio anymore, but at the very least, you can just go to johannabasford.com, go to her blog, and it's the most recent, like if you look up in the menu on her website, there's going to be a blog section, and it's the most recent post that she's done, and she has a free download of a card from there. Well, since it was a download and it was digital, I've thought about, I'm going to show you here in a second. If you've been on any of my socials, you've already seen it. But if you haven't, I'm going to show you here in a second. I've had an idea to do this method in some of the Small Victories books. Unfortunately, because you can see, we've got some height, some texture. If I were to do that in here, then the pages would be harder to color on the past ones. So here, I'll zoom in on this one real quick. So what I did, since it was digital, I was able to bring it into, I used 2 programs to do it. Photoshop and my cutting program that goes with Silhouette. If you have Cricut or something, it could probably work like that again. But essentially what I did is I separated out the background from the foreground. Let's make that a little bit darker. There we go. The background from the foreground. So I separated it out. The birds and everything are on this one, but I made it really, really light, only so I knew where to place these ones. So on, let's see, do I have the cutout of it anymore? No, I think I got rid of it. Okay, so on the Silhouette program, basically what you have is you have a sheet of paper and it's got these little lines on it, and you have to go within that bounding box for it to be able to cut out. Thank you, Cece. So I separated. On one side, I had this background with very light lines of the birds and then Grow Wild and Live Beautifully so that it would cut out just this rectangle. On the other side, I had the birds and the flowers and everything, and I had that separately over on the other side. So I colored it all, and I didn't just dive in. I did a test cutout, because if the stuff, oh, thank you, if the stuff is too small, I mean, the cutting machine isn't perfect. And this is my Nina cardstock, which it's really heavy. And so it actually has to go 2 passes when it cuts. And so I did a test with just a blank one, because I sure as heck wasn't going to put in all that effort to color it only to have the little blade eat it all up, right? Because I mean, these are pretty tiny. So I did a test one, and let's get that back in focus. There we go. I did a test one and it worked. So I colored the background on one side, the birds and the flowers on the other side, and it cut out all the individual elements over here, and it cut out the background. Then what I did is I took one of the practice ones, because I wanted this bird to be nice and sturdy. And so I took this bird and the blank white one that I had printed before. Hi, Kim. And I had glued them together so it's nice and stiff. And I used Elmer's glue for the stuff that's glued directly together. And then I used, do I have them out anymore? I don't think I do. But those little, like when you're doing scrapbooking, those little foam adhesives, I put that on the back. So I don't know if you guys can see. We'll zoom in a bit. I mean, again, if you've watched the reel, you saw it, but you know, this is the perks of you guys coming to my stream is you get the, okay, it's not gonna go in focus anymore because it's too thin. The perks of kind of getting the behind the scenes. So you can see I've got all the foam tabs there. But if you look over here, you can see not everything is raised, because I wanted to give it a little bit of dimension. So for instance, these 2 and this one are raised, you can see, but the others are not. Hi, Connie. And then this one and this one, this one, like those are all raised. So I have a variation, like this one is glued directly, this is raised, this leaf is raised. So if you see it in person, oh, there you go. That's a better view of it. You can see how some of them are raised there. But if you see it in person, it's really cool. I went for kind of a, there you go. Sorry, my hands are shaky. Kind of a vintage kind of color palette. So I used the, hi, Tech Gal. I used the Pablo's to color it. I seriously debated about paint because I wanted to do this whole cloud thing in the background, but I do paint a lot. Thank you. I do paint a lot, and I never want anyone to feel like so intimidated by a medium that they feel like they can't also do it. So in the coloring community, pencils is a lot more common. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do pencils for this one. Not that it was like a full video for anybody to follow along anyway, but if they wanted to try it themselves, that's what I did. And then I have a little corner, little punch cutter, and I did that in the corners. What am I going to do with it? I have no idea, honestly. Like, I debated about like sending it to Johanna or I don't know, just putting it in a frame with no glass or something. I really like it. It's pretty. I just I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with it yet. Okay, I think that's all the announcements. So we're going to dive straight in because I really want to get as much done as possible. So we've got all of our Neocolors up here. I'm debating about how I want to set these because they're hanging over the back of the desk a little bit and I don't want them to fall. So let's see where this puts us if we zoom in. Not quite where we want it. So I've got my water over here. We're going to shift it and we're going to put these Neocolors in a less precarious position. I was working on the blossoms and the branches a little bit. I know I said that I was like going to get it done like off stream, but I did not because this past week has just been chaotic. The kids have a bajillion and one things going on at school, and it got to be last night, which a lot of times if I'm behind on stuff, like I'll work on it the night before, but I was like, I got nothing. I got nothing. So we're going to work on it today, but we're not going to do the branches. We are actually going to dive straight into the stones because that's one of the other ones that I wanted to work on. Oh, cute, Michelle. Hang on. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. I love kittens. I swear, half the videos that I share with Steve, they're of cute kittens or kitten videos or dog videos or whatever. That's mostly what I don't know. Are you guys, I don't know if I'm the only one. So I don't always send links to Steve. What I'll do is I'll send them to myself and save them. And then at some point when we have some time, we sit down and we watch them together because I like to see his reactions to things that he finds funny. Okay. All right. Pets. Let's see. Oh, you named him Castile. Is that coincidence that it's Court of Thorns and Roses? Or no, wait, Castile. That's not Court of Thorns and Roses. That's hold on, don't tell me. Because there is a Castile. Hold on. I have the book. Hold on. I'm trying to remember. Where's my Audible? Oh, from Supernatural. Okay. Yeah, because there is a Castile in... Hold on. Sorry, I'm looking up the name. Hold on. But it's spelled... the series Blood and Ash, the series. Okay. All right. Anyway, we are going to dive straight into working on these stones. So they've got these swirls on it, and I imagine that it's kind of a magical thing. So what I want to do is we're going to color these swirls like it's lit up. Did you ever... There you go. Did you guys ever watch Atlantis? The cartoon version where they go and they find and they've got all these rocks that light up. That's what I'm thinking. But I don't want to light it up with the same blue. I want to light it up with a green. So we'll need to do our glow first and then do, right? It's so good. It's so good. We need to do our glow first and then work on the stone stuff. So there's also these ones up here, which is why it also reminded me of it, because on Atlantis, they have those floating stones of their ancestors, right? All right, so if we're gonna do that, we're definitely going to do yellow green, which is in the 15 classic set, okay? Yellow green. We're going to grab lime green, which is from the pastel set. And actually, look, I did use my, our lovely Ev gifted me a label maker a few years ago. And so I used it to label all of the little tins. So I stopped like having to search for the colors that I'm looking for. So anyway, super handy. So thanks, Ev. All right, so there's that one. So we have yellow green, lime green. We don't have a wide, well, we, meaning I don't have a super wide range of like gray colors. Eventually, maybe. Hi, butterfly. So we're going to go ahead and grab black. You can zoom out for a second. So we're going to get black. Definitely going to get silver. It says silver, but it's not really metallic. It's just a really light gray. Hi, Palma. A really light gray. And then let's get indigo blue. I think that can work. And then maybe, I'm going to say maybe because I don't foresee a use for it yet, but I'm going to get it out anyway. Aubergine. aubergine. We'll grab some white. Trying to foresee what else I want to do. We're also going to grab Van Dyke Brown for like maybe the bottom of the rocks when it goes up a little bit. So that's it. I'm not going to do emerald green. So if you guys are curious, for the sets that I have, if you haven't been here before, I have the 15 classic, I have the pastel. For these next 3 are the anniversary ones. I have the pastel, the pop, and the portrait. And then I have all the colors on here. Ignore the color order. When I put in the numbers, I put them in wrong, but I was too tired to do it again, and it works close enough. I can see all the colors together. So all total, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Someone tell me 13 times 4, or 13, 14 times 3. That's how many I have. So those are the colors we're going to go with. So to go over it again, we've got black, we've got lime green, yellow green, silver gray, indigo, aubergine, white, and Van Dyke Brown. So hi, Mona. So if you have your own Neocolors and if you happen to be following along and you've got more color choices than that, feel free to use them. But for the choices that I have, those are the colors that I am going to use. We'll probably leave this just like this because we'll zoom in and out. So we're going to start first with yellow green, and we're going to do the yellow green directly in all of these swirls. So coloring, it's okay if you go out a little bit because we're going to have a glow anyway, but I just felt like a green glow fits a little bit more. Ah, thank you, Durbin. Honestly, I was like, Durbin's going to get it. 42. So I have 42 colors. That's really not too bad. The 15 set was a birthday gift from Steve. The smaller sets were a gift from my mother-in-law and my parents, so it's nice. The only anniversary set that I still need, I think it's called like the Lush set, and it's kind of like a lot of greens and blues. So eventually, I'm still waiting for those Derwent drawing pencils to go down in price. But it has not happened yet because right now the listing is shipping from the UK. It's at $203, but I'm not going to get it unless it's back down to that $135. So for now, it's not like I don't have enough stuff. I talked about it last time. Artex sent me their acrylic markers. And then they are also coming up. It's going to be for a video in February, which is crazy. I mean, it's the 16th already. Coming up in February, there's going to be some pastel alcohol markers. So that will be something to look forward to. So this is a petal. That's going to end up being pink. So whenever that arrives, that's what we'll do. I thought about just doing the 2 on the left side, but we're going to go through and do all 4 of them at once. This was the goal today, work on the stones. So we're going to work on these 4 stones and hopefully get them all done. And if we do get all 4 stones done, we'll see. I have the gift of gab, so we tend to get a little distracted. If I do have all 4 stones done, then maybe we'll work on her, because obviously I want you to do these ones that are above on stream, because we're doing these ones here. So if you are following along, you can kind of follow it from there. But yeah, so it's just been, I haven't started on any of the quilt squares yet. I still need to make the post. It has just been so crazy busy. Little Steve had an ear infection that just would not go away. So I feel like we've been back and forth to the doctor all week, life. So, hi, Sue. So, trying to find a balance, but also at the same time, I kind of have a personal deadline I've set myself for that coloring page that I want to get up in the shop. And then I am working on finishing up the download for next month. I was really surprised. I got a lot of really good feedback from the download next month, and it just inspires me even more to really put out something that I enjoy. Hang on, I missed this one. Not that I don't enjoy them all, but you get that kind of jazzed, inspired feeling when things are received really well. All right, so then we're going to go with the lime green. Okay, lime green. We're not going to do a ton, but I want to have that glow on the outside of it. We're not going to activate it until we have all of our color on here. But yeah, so it has just been busy here, been preoccupied, just lots going on. So it's trying to find the balance to get everything done on time. But, you know, it's good. It's productive work. I've always got something going on during the day for whatever project. Absolutely. You're great. Actually, I haven't used them in a while. Maybe next time we do pencils, I should do the bruins. I've been thinking that I should do, take a break from the higher end supplies. I got a lot of really good response when I used the Crayolas. Now, I used the Crayolas recently, so I wouldn't use them again. But I was thinking about the Marker Raffine. Oh, I can imagine, Durbin. I can imagine. Well, it's a 3-day weekend this weekend, so I'm looking forward to that. Little Emily has stuff going on all weekend, though, so we'll be busy either way, but I won't have to do any school runs, which is nice, because that is usually a good chunk of my day, which is why I've taken to bringing the iPad with me to work on in the car. Actually, let me know if you guys want to see the work in progress for next month's download. It's almost there. Like, it's not done yet. I need to add more to it, but it's almost there. All right, so we're almost done with this one. And then obviously, you know, we'll finish. I worked a little bit on this branch, but not a ton. Because what I might actually need to do is put some of this kind of lime glow on the stuff that's real close to the rocks. Oh, nice, Durbin. But it's hard because I have so many things that I want to do at home, like personal projects and everything, but there just hasn't been the time. Like, I'm having to, you know, figure out what needs more time than something else. Got a lot of snow yesterday. It's like winter wonderland. Aw. I know that that's like some people, you know, obviously have gotten snowed in and they don't enjoy snow, but my gosh, we have had like 2.5 weeks of winter this year. And it's already, little Emily was telling us something about like, oh, it's for the spring event. I'm like, spring event? I'm still waiting for winter. Like, what do you mean spring event? It's still like summer here, isn't it? Because it's ridiculous. Telling you, man, this weather, it has been something else. All right, so that is it for the greens for now. Now I want to be careful because if I had something in between these two colors, that would be perfect. I told Steve for my birthday this year, like I'm not going to get much. Like, I don't need to spend to it. So if I told him, I was like, look, give me $20. I'll go to Jerry's Artorama. I'll, you know, get a couple open stock items, a new paintbrush, and a single tube of paint, and I will be happy. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with black. So we're going to go really light, like I said, and yeah, we're going to work our way up. Nice, Kim. Okay, so as far as what our darkest part is going to be, so we've got a little bit of this glow, and in fact, before I do the black, I just realized we should add some yellow for the glow. You know, we've got a little bit of yellow glow on the stag. Good morning, Trey. And so I want to add a little bit of that glow to the stone so we can map that in. So we're going to grab the pale yellow, okay? And for the areas that are exposed, maybe not all the way to top because it's like not quite as bright there. Let's see. You know, Cece, I thought about it. So I don't know if you guys watched the video that I put out, but it does a really cool effect. It does, and I put that on there on the little, you know, mini review I did on my reel. That being said, I can tell it will take me so much longer to do that because I'm stopping to blend the acrylic. I think if we were to do that, I'd want to do a small motif because for me, as someone who paints all the time, to get the effect that I want and blend it, it just takes me that much longer. And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, my gouache is probably a little bit faster than that. That being said, I have a couple projects in mind that I want to do them with. Let's see, do I have, here it is. Okay, so as most of you know, my house or my downstairs is decorated in Lord of the Rings theme. Yellow together, thanks. learn more how to use them. Yeah. So we have a Lord of the Rings themed house. Anyway, when my sister came for a visit during Christmas, I obviously, you know, got things the way I wanted them. But we have a little bowl by the door that holds all of the, you know, if we need to take off the, you know, the Ring camera to reinstall it, we've got a little solar thing so they don't have to charge it. But anyway, we keep it by the door because we know we won't lose it. But I was just like, God, they look so, like, it looks so tacky just sitting there by the door. So I got this. Right? And I'm going to use this. This is just like faux leather that I got from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to use this to create a pocket so that we can tuck all of the ring stuff here. And then I want to paint this. I installed a bigger magnet on here, but I want to paint this then. Look at that. That messed with the white balance, man. Anyway, I want to paint this to look like either The Hobbit or The Lord of the Rings or whatever. And I was thinking, I'm like, oh my gosh, the paint pens would be perfect for this, for like all of the details. So I definitely want to try them for that. And I have a few activities in mind that I want to do as well. Like I have some rocks that I got from Oregon that I want to put on beaches because there's a whole kind of movement where people, you know, you find the rocks. We found when we were there. Anyway, but the paint pens would be perfect for that. And in fact, little Emily, it wasn't the Artix brand, but she got something else for Christmas. My sister gave her acrylic markers also. And she's actually been using them to make custom Pokemon cards for her friends. And it's super cute. Can you paint it the arched doorway from the Hobbit house? Ooh, yes, we could. But yeah, I think we definitely will. And then, there we go. Is that bright enough? We'll do one with the alcohol markers when they come too. It is really nice because for collaborations that I have been doing, rather than a big long YouTube video, I've been doing the reels, and that just makes it so much easier to complete and get done in a timely fashion since things are just crazy busy. Hi, Chrissy, how are you? All right, so we're just using black, but I'm going very light. I don't want to go too heavy. We can always add more darkness later. But we're going to have this side that's away from it going to be the darkest. So I'm going to do all black here because we can always add white on top of it as well. Because it's kind of semi-opaque, so it allows you to layer a bit. And then I have like crochet projects I want to do. I want to do some more of that punch needle. Like there just aren't enough hours in the day. Cold here in Florida. I mean, it's been chillier here, but like kiddo is still going to school in shorts, if that gives you any indication. Let's see, what is it? I think it is currently 63 here right now. While it isn't raining, nice. Yeah, no rain in our future. Well, maybe Wednesday. So today's supposed to be a high of 70, and then high 54, 62, 65, 54, 60, and 69. So yay for winter. Sounds good, Angela. Faux winter. There's no real winter. The naive part of me thinking, oh, I wonder if the kids will be able to get some snow this year. Nope. No snow here. None whatsoever. I mean, I can't complain. The weather's nice. People would love to have weather like this, but just want a little bit of snow in the winter. Is it too much to ask? Of course, then those that are experiencing a giant amount of snow is probably like, be quiet, stop talking. Don't you know what you're asking for? I'm so sorry. Okay, so we're just filling in with the black. Okay, let's see. It's kind of fully swirled. I don't know that we can fit much black in there. All right, let's go ahead and go with the silver gray. I had ice on my car this morning. We still haven't had snow, which is a bit of a surprise. Yeah, a little bit. You guys, I mean, when I was living there, we would get like, there'd be at least 1 week out of the year where we would get like some snow, and it would stay for like 3 or 4 days and then go away. Hi B, how are you? It's not stopped raining here for days. Yeah, I mean, Natalie, did you guys get hit with that same snowstorm that that hit Johanna? She even put it in her newsletter that they were all iced in over there. Or how cold has it been there? All right, so I'm just doing the silver gray to fill it in. Obviously, it looks a hot mess right now, but we're gonna add more to it. So bear with. Trust the process. Okay. So I'm just going over that black with the silver gray. We are just basically blocking in our color, getting our base coat in. Before we add any other colors, we're gonna go ahead and get this wet. Now, because we have black next to light colors, we're gonna need to make sure that we're cleaning our brush quite frequently. There we go. All right, our Christmas, New Year's, but I have a feeling we hit hard. That's what I'm thinking. I have a video from when we lived there, and we got like snow in April. It was the weirdest thing. It was just like this freak snow thing. All right, so I am using the number 3, the Da Vinci Cosmetop number 3 round, where you are on the coast. Okay, that's fair. So the rain is kind of normal for you guys. All right, so we are just going to get the light stuff done first, then we'll work with the dark. So we're just going to, and obviously we're going to touch some of the dark, but I want to be careful and not drag the dark into the green a little bit, just because I want to make sure that that still stands out and doesn't get too muddied. You know, actually, we're just going to go ahead and do the black at the same time, but we're going to be cleaning our brush quite frequently. And we'll just work left to right here. It's a right-handed. I don't want to go on my hands. I know I'm covering up a little bit of the leaves, but it's perfectly okay. Got some of that silver here. Like I said, it's a hot mess now, but let it cook. Let it cook. Trust the process. There we go. And then don't forget, coming up, I posted about it in my community tab, but we have got the charity tubeathon coming up, if I remember correctly, end of the month here, beginning of February. So I'll be talking more about that later. Oh, nice. -9. Oh my gosh. Yay, Natalie, Quilt Square add-on. Yeah, because I also want to try and get set up that giveaway for the remainder of the Quilt Squares this weekend. Northwest Florida, 27 overnight. Ooh, how is Florida even colder than we are? It's crazy. I mean, the animals and birds have been loving it. Our poor lawns and insects are thoroughly confused. I don't know, man. This year is the very definition of a weird year. Okay. Bring that in just a bit. Again, it looks really rough right now, but trust the process. Right? It's going to be great. And I kind of love it because we've changed, you know, the same people that were streaming when I streamed. I mean, even look at me. I've had to cut down how much I stream just because, I mean, life does not look the same as it did. Oh, I want that green. As it did when I first started. I mean, the kiddos were still in diapers, right? Like, I remember that we started streaming at night because I had to work around their bedtimes and their nap times. Like, streaming during the day was not a possibility. But there's some people that have, you know, slowed down on the streaming, and now we've got a lot of new faces too. So I think this will be a good chance for everybody that maybe have only found, you know, like one streamer helps to become aware that there's still quite a few of us in the community. And, you know, those that are new will get to know the old, like that kind of thing. So I'm excited. I'm excited. Okay, let's see. Did I put away my heat gun? I should check for that before I started. Hang on. Because that would be handy. It was plugged in before. What did I do with it? This is what happens when you clean and organize. Not that it's not usually clean and organized, but you know. All right, I found it. It was under my sweater. Yeah, it's going to be great. Okay, sorry. I'm under the desk plugging it in. Little Emily, I was doing something. And she's like, oh, did you say something? I'm like, no, I was just getting out of a chair. And I'm going to be 40 this year. That's when we officially start making noises when we're getting up out of the seating position, right? God forbid the seated position is like crisscross applesauce on the floor. Well, no, that's just me. Right? Yes, exactly. Oh, and there's no way that I color the same that I did then. I feel like I'm a little bit more brave with what I do. I mean, we had that first one. What was that? Was that Enchanted Forest? It was the shelves one, and where the sparkle pen kind of went nuts on the snail. Okay, so we're going to start with adding our details to this one, and then we'll, ooh, that's still that's still damp. And then we're going to move on over. So let's see. Right now it's just kind of a big mishmash, but we are going to make areas be a little bit darker. So let's see. We're going to work around this branch. Again, it's kind of opaque, so we'll be able to layer on top. So let's see. We've got an angle of rock here. So we are going to go in with some black. Work on the shadows. We still have this glow here, but we are going to make it a little bit darker. This one here is going to be completely dark. We'll have this grass that we'll do, but we'll take care of that in a bit. So let's see, let's do a little bit there. Okay, put a little bit under the branch. Okay, this is kind of away from it, so we're gonna do this one. I'm just kind of talking through where I'm placing my darker colors. Okay, we may go a little silver over the top here to lessen it. Oh, Jen, welcome. Welcome to our little coloring family. Yeah, if you guys missed it, I did create another tier. One of them, you get all the perks of the channel, you know, the badges and everything like that. And then the other one is you get all the perks of the channel, but then you also get the free download for it. So thank you. You get some hypes in chat for Jen. We do the handy dandy hype emotes. Many of the streamers I used to follow slowed down or stopped. I've gone in search of others. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think, you know, it just comes with that. Life changes, right? But I think the most important thing is, despite the fact that there's new ones, the community is still here. It may not look what it, you know, look what it looked like a few years ago, but they're still here, and I love that. Okay, so let's do a little bit of this aubergine. Adding in the extra colors helps to give it a bit of depth. We're not going to do a ton, but we are going to add some. Okay, now let's go with our Van Dyke brown. We're going to get some brown that kind of goes up the side a bit. Okay, let's see. I'm not going to do the indigo blue yet. Let's go ahead and go with more of the lime green. Okay, we're going to use that to blend. When we're done with this layer, then we're going to move to taking directly from the pastels themselves, because I want to make sure that this blends nicely. So again, use my Neos for backgrounds. I need to try a picture. Oh, absolutely. Let's have fun with it. All right, so we're going to do our number 3 round. Okay, and we're going to move quickly because I don't want it to be too choppy, and it is a lot of black. That's the thing, is black is one of the harder ones to subtract if you've already put a lot down. I'm not too worried about the fact that I'm going over the branch. Oop, I did go out of the line for the rock there. It's fine. It's fine. We'll add a little bit of white. Launching my channel, shooting for July. Ooh, yes. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. We should all preemptively, is it going to be under this one, or are you going to start a new channel name? Because if it's going to be under this one, we should all preemptively go follow you. Get you those 1,000 Actually, is that still the thing where you have to have 1,000 followers to go live, or did they change that? I know they've done changes since I did mine initially. Okay. Again, trust the process. Look okay when we're done. She said, as she thought in her head, I hope. Okay. Again, I'm not too worried that I'm going out of the lines. It's not a big deal. Okay. All right, so now what I want to do is we are going to, do I want to do the indigo? No, we're going to start with the black. And again, we're going to go light. So let's switch over to the that works. 0 Cosmetop round. So we're going to do just a little bit of black, not a ton. A little bit here that we didn't quite get in. We're going to get a little bit closer because even once we have all this black down, we can go back with our green and soften that edge just a bit. But taking directly from the pastel allows you to have a little bit more control over how much pigment ends up on the paper. There we go. In fact, you know what we should do? Since I'm wanting it to be, ooh, that was a lot of water. That was probably too much water. Let's actually pull up a reference photo of the Atlantis rocks. Okay, so let's do Atlantis. I'm going to put Atlantis cartoon because, yeah, because that's what I see in my head. Atlantis cartoon rocks. There we go. I mean, again, it's a cartoon, so it's not going to be exact, but the Heart of Atlantis, that's what it's called. That's what it's called. But they have these kind of glowing rocks, and that's what I imagine it is. Yeah, so there's like a glow around them. If you want to like look at what I'm looking at, just look up like, here we go. I'm just looking. Just look up Atlantis cartoon rocks. But I guess now that we know that they're the rocks, the Heart of Atlantis. So let's look up Atlantis cartoon, the Heart of Atlantis. Yeah, so that's just basically what it is. All the lines are kind of lit up and it's kind of glowy around it. Barbara! Hi, Barbara. How are you? Oh, sorry if that was a little loud on the mic. Channels I follow early for this stuff become more like advertising channels instead of coloring or art techniques. Yeah, Cat and Paste actually just posted a video. What was it? It was late. It was late when they posted it, and they were posting about a lot of stuff these days, kind of ending up behind a paywall. It was a good video if you want to go watch it. But that was part of the reason is they feel like the channels aren't necessarily that, but it's more an ad. Now I do advertise some things. How are you, Barbara? I've seen that you've been going live, but it's like I'm like asleep when you first go live, and then I was like, oh, now it's too late. So I feel bad that I can't be there, but hello, how are you? For me, it's being able to, because if I didn't have some sort of and like paywall isn't a thing. Like, yeah, I offer a free coloring page, but like all of my content, even though I have to stream less, has always been the same. And in fact, I meant to ask you guys, are there any ads in your chat? I turned off monetization while we're at the live, and then I can turn it on afterwards, but it's okay. But have you guys been getting any of the chat ads that freezes the stream and it pops it down? Because I didn't realize it was happening last time until Shannon mentioned something, and I was just like, absolutely not, no way. That's the whole reason why I don't run mid-roll ads, because it just messes with the experience. But yeah, so I feel like mine's not really a paywall, but it allows me to continue to do it, because if I didn't make a little bit of something off this, I would probably need to go, you know, find somewhere else to make up the difference. So that's why I've never done like special members lives or whatever else, because I still want to make it readily available to everyone. No ads today. Not mine, but I pay for it. Gotcha. Okay, good. Yeah, because I did not realize that it was like freezing like every couple of seconds. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so annoying. I think it happens more on mobile than it does desktop. But when I found that out, I was just like, yeah, no, absolutely not. We're not doing that. All right, this one is nice and dark. So I was like, I can just turn that off and then I'll turn it on later. I'm glad that worked though. Oh, Dee, hi Dee. Awesome. Well, Shan, I don't know if you're lurking or not, but thank you for the heads up on that, because I was just like, yeah, absolutely not. We're not doing that. Okay, let's grab, we're going to do our indigo. Yeah, we're going to do indigo. I'm trying to decide if I want to grab, let's grab the Amazonite too. Hello. Hi, Callie. Yeah, because I know you turned off the monetization on yours, and yeah, I'm right there with you. I was just like, this is not going to fly. Okay, so we're going to use some indigo. It's going to change the color a little bit, yes, but I think it will kind of show how the colors are blended together. So I'm just doing a little bit here. Yeah, it takes you out of the fun. Like, I've always said that I feel like when we do these lives, it's like we all went out for a coffee and are just hanging out, right? And it's like, who wants ads with their coffee? Are you kidding me? Granted, I don't have coffee this morning. Which, speaking of coffee, I tried some new stuff this morning. I really like the Left Coast coffee that I get from Oregon. But the prices had to go up a bit, and it's because I have to pay shipping too. It just was not becoming very cost effective to get it. But like the H-E-B coffee that's just like the regular stuff at the grocery store is like, and I don't want to do Folgers because my stomach is really sensitive to super acidic coffee. So I did some research online, and the coffee beans that the place in Oregon that I really like uses, they use a good portion of the I'm probably butchering it, but the Arabica Australian. I had people tell me they get pop-up. Yes, yeah, that's exactly what it was. I have the new one. Oh wait, it's not bad to pay memberships Patreon along with their videos, but when they completely move pay to play, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's depending on what they're offering. And that's a big reason, like even in the very beginning, I never said I wanted to do like the individual membership ones, because that's just not fair. Like I don't want to have it be like, you know, only the cool kids club kind of thing, you know? But I guess they use primarily the Arabica beans, which I really, really like. And so I was trying to find more cost-effective coffee that does that. And so I found coffee called Lavazza, because I need to do decaf also, because I do half calf. So I usually do 1 scoop of each, just because my heart does not handle a ton of caffeine well. So I do both. So I found it, and honestly, it was really good. It didn't taste obviously exactly like the stuff that I got in Oregon, but it was really good. Let me grab the link for it in case anybody else is on a coffee journey. It was one of those things where if you get a certain amount, you can get it like overnight. So I ordered it yesterday and it arrived at like 6 a.m. this morning. I was like, perfect timing, because that is the coffee I want. Okay, so here, I'm gonna open these because the decaf I kind of had to do a workaround to find it. So here is the regular coffee that I got, because for this same size bag at the place in Oregon, I have to pay for shipping for it, but the individual like regular small bags are like 17.5 bucks. And I'm just like, I cannot justify, okay, so this is the decaf. Like I cannot justify a $17 small bag of coffee, because I usually get the bigger ones because it's more cost effective, and pay for shipping along with it also. So yeah, so I'm switching, and I tried that stuff this morning. It was really good, really like it. It didn't upset my tummy, so I'm gonna take that as a win. Even okay with the occasional members only stuff because they're spending money like monthly perks members. Exactly, exactly. Oh yeah, I really like it. Also, I learned, and this is something you guys probably already know, a light roast is going to be more acidic. But yeah, any of that Starbucks, Folgers, like no, I can't do any of that. Like that is just a big negatory for me. And so, like I said, I did the Cafe au Lait, which is the H-E-B brand here, and it just, I don't know if I've been spoiled because the Oregon coffee is so good, but I was just like, dude, I could tell because Steve will usually make the coffee in the mornings. And so we had ran out of my regular decaf. So we had to start in on the cafe au lait stuff. And like, I didn't even know he had switched it, but I could taste a difference. Yeah, D, same. I could taste the difference. I'm like, we ran out of the good stuff, didn't we? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh man. But I could tell it in the taste. And so I was like, yeah, no. But the stuff today was really good. Like I said, it's not the same as the other place because I don't know what kind of blend they do. But so far my tummy wasn't upset from this coffee and it tasted a lot better than the cafe au lait stuff. That's fair. That's fair. I don't know if that like makes me a coffee snob or what, but yeah. And those bags, I think they were like 10 and 12 or something. The decaf is always a little bit more, but my biggest thing is finding like the Kicking Horse coffee is good, but they don't really make a good, they do have one decaf, but it's a dark roast and I like medium roast on it. So it's just hard to find a good variety of decaf for what I need it for. So Espresso for Christmas, I found that Simply Coffee makes my IPA. I found a couple different ones that, oh, that's good. See, and people think I'm crazy when I'm just like, oh yeah, this one's neither like coffee's coffee, it's all beans. I'm like, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I have a friend that drinks that Rise coffee that's made out of the mushrooms, but I very rarely go and just purchase like a cup of coffee at a coffee shop. Number one, you want to talk where I'm not willing to pay $17 for a small bag of coffee, but like what is it, like 5 something for like 1 cup? I'm like, no, the Scrooge in me won't let me do that. Cafe au lait. Well, it's so good. It's so good. I was very pleased with it for a good alternative that, again, didn't upset my stomach. And I was just like, perfect. So we'll see how it goes. I've only had the 1 cup this morning. I might treat myself to a second coffee this afternoon, but we shall see. We shall see. I don't know. I'm just particular about my coffee, which is so funny because like I didn't start drinking coffee until I have had my second kid because I was just tired all the time. Okay, so right now there's nothing about this rock that says, hey, this is the darker side. Hey, this is the lighter side. Aw, hi Liz. So I'm gonna take a little bit, let's see, do I still wanna go with the indigo? No, you know what? We're gonna go with the Amazonite because I want to go slowly with this. So it's still gonna be glowing, obviously, but I want to go over with the Amazonite to kind of tone down the brightness of the lime green on some of them. Oh, love that. I've taken to keeping like my pumpkin spice seasoning. So not like pumpkin spice syrup or anything, but the seasoning I keep. And if I'm making coffee just for myself and not like for Steve also on the weekend, I add a little bit of a sprinkle of that. But I have to be careful that it's not too much because it can be a little really easy to have it a little overwhelming. But I do love a good cinnamon in things. I don't know if I'll have time to do it today, but I also want to make some more bread this weekend. We had spaghetti last night, and I was really lamenting the fact that I hadn't made any more bread yet. I can't go back to like the other like frozen store-bought stuff. Like this stuff is fluffy and it's good. It is the closest thing to real bread that I've been able to eat since I started my gluten-free journey. Oh, wait, what? Tried one of those mushroom coffees, boasted tastes like cocoa. Smelled amazing, tasted horrid. Oh, and they blocked you? Oh my gosh. See, like shady business practices, man. Not cool. Not cool. Like I'm only like a small business. And like, even still, if someone messages me and there's like a legit mistake, like there have been some times in the past where I'll send something out and like it will have gotten lost in the mail or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Like I have a no refunds thing, but like if it's legitimately an issue and it's something I can resend, like I do it. Like, hello, good business practices. Were you able to like leave a review on them or anything? Okay, so now, what do I want to do here? Because it's toned down a little, but it is nowhere near looking the way I want it to look yet. So let's go with actually our silver for a bit. Because I want to smooth this out. Right now, it's just a little too, Oh, I can't think of the word. It's a little too something that I don't like. Hi, Helen. How are you? It was more amusing than anything because I'm sure they didn't want someone to tell them their stuff tastes like. Right? Like, dear sir or madam, this coffee is the most horrendous thing I have ever consumed in the entirety of my life. Take this as your strongly worded letter to please make something else. Perhaps go into the shoe business because that is what it tastes like. My car is so happy to. Oh, awesome. Well, have fun. Have fun. Thanks for popping in. I just need to set my alarm and just get, it's probably better that I get up early in the morning anyway. I could be more productive and get things done. Totally unrelated to coloring, absolute side note. I don't know if there's any Animal Crossing players in here, but if you are, or like got bored with whatever, there was a new update that came out for it. Yep, left flaming reviews on every site and platform I could dig them up. Shoe business, exactly. Hi, NCM, welcome. Dear sir or madam, or to whom it may concern, I awoke this morning with the idea that I would have a nice, soothing cup of coffee. But once I made it and sat down to enjoy the view on my back patio, I discovered that this sludge tasted like feet. How do I know what feet taste like? Don't ask questions, but I guarantee you that's what it tasted like. Please reconsider your business practices or perhaps get into making gasoline. Sincerely yours, severely disgruntled coffee drinker. Oh man, I am epic at strongly worded letters. See, I really don't like confrontation, but gosh, when I am righteously indignant, like I know that I'm right, oh boy, do I have fun with it. I was feeling a little bit better. Hey, you know what? I roll with it. Here's interested in the Woomer pencils. I've been gifted the new bigger set, so far I'm delighted with them. Oh, very nice. Yeah, I've heard great things about Woomer. I think, Shannon, I think you've used Woomer, haven't you? Somebody mentioned that they used it. Okay, so we are lightening this considerably just because I want to smooth everything out, and then we'll get a little bit heavier with it. So I know I said I was going to go across all four, but I kind of want to just focus on this one rock right now so we can get it to the point where I am happy with how it looks. Blending the old set to the new set. Nice. Yeah, so far we are using, so we started with the black and we did silver gray. For the swirls on the inside, we did the lime green and yellow green. So yellow green on the very middle, lime green on the outside, although they're really similar. You can tell from this one's just a little bit lighter, which is why I used it on the outside. We used a little bit of the pale yellow for the edge, which I'm going to reinforce here in a bit. We've also used aubergine, Van Dyke brown. I do have the white out, which we'll probably end up using. So here, I'll put them in my hand here so you can screenshot them. Got stuff in my hands. All right, so let's see. The names are kind of hard to see, but there we go. All right, and screenshot. That's what we did. But, you know, we're blending it like you would paint anyway, so. Okay, so we're gonna use more silver gray. It's been nice doing a different artist though. Oh, and if you guys missed it, I did show, I can show them again if you guys want to, but I did show the two episodes that I did for the Can I Finish This Whole Book series. I have a new page that I want to get colored and put up in the shop. It is a little antique, well not antique, it's an old radio that the Fairy House is made out of. And then I was showing off the card that I did in the most recent reel. Between ironing, gosh, there just hasn't been enough time. I need more of me. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, let's see, do I want to do aubergine? We're going to go in with the indigo. But aside from little Emily's things that are going on this weekend, we mostly need to do like I have my own stuff that I need to film. I want to get that page filmed so we can get that up. I need to start planning out the quilt squares. Oh, I just keep adding more water. I didn't mean to do that. And I want to get the plan squared away so that we can finish up that project. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit heavier indigo here. Okay. Because I really want to differentiate the shape of this. So we're going to smooth this out. And we're going to do this here. But given that the Tubeathon is coming up, I want to get some more notices out about that as well. Showing the fruit paintings, I have brilliant ideas, so I'm working on getting a few things made. I'm going to call it January. Oh, I love that. January. I do like jam. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking that a lot more. It's giving it more definition. Right? That's the thing. So it's like I've always got a list of projects that I need to get done, whether or not it's filming or collaborations or whatever else, right? And because I work for myself, it's like, well, as long as I keep working, I'll get things done, right? So yesterday, I really didn't feel well. It was a bad flare-up day, autoimmune nonsense, whatever, is great. And Steve told me, he's like, why don't you take the day off and relax? Which I did because I needed it. But then, like, I was kind of kicking myself this morning. I was just like, I have so many things I need to get done. Like, I wish I would have worked on some of that instead. And so that's kind of the cycle that I fight with myself about, is reminding myself that my body does not work the way I would like it to, and some days I just need to rest. And so I've got to try and fight against the guilt that I feel the next day for not being as productive as I could have been. Ooh, nice, Renee. Sorry, I just got a notification. Let me make sure it's not the kids. But deep down, I know that it is better for my mental health in general if I take the time that I need. But it's nice because I wasn't feeling well. Steve stepped up and did some dishes last night and made dinner. So that was nice to not have to worry about that at all. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of this indigo on this side as well. It's a little bit smoother on this side because we use that silver. Yep, exactly. When it was just like this nausea came out of nowhere, like it was just random, but there's a reason I have a standing nausea medication, because my body just does that sometimes. It's always great when your body is literally fighting against you. Autoimmune. Yep, exactly. Like, it's different if I worked like a 9 to 5, you know, once you clock out, you're done, right? But when you work for yourself, it's just like, if you just keep going, you'll get more done. There's just so many things that I want to do. I was thinking though, there's a couple, I have the, some diamond paintings, and I've got one that I started that I still want to do. It's that Scott Howden one. But I was debating about getting rid of the other ones because they're just taking up space. And like, I don't think I've kitted any of them up, but I was just like, I have a bajillion projects. When am I going to have the time to get those done? So I think I was going to put those up on like Facebook Marketplace, because they're just collecting dust in the office. And I'm just like, I should probably find somebody who will truly enjoy them, because I just don't have the time for it. Okay, I want to soften this just a bit. We're definitely going to bring in some of that silver again. Oh gosh, do I have that to look forward to in a few years? Try to chore, then take 15 minutes color read, and then another chore, then I can accomplish more in a day. See, I like that. CS rep for 3D printing subscriber sites from home part-time, but it's different than what I've done before, right? But that's great because, you know, you guys have been doing a lot of the 3D printing stuff, so you're pretty familiar with it. All right, we're gonna go ahead and go in with the silver again, and we're gonna soften a few of these edges. All the time in the world. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. But I also wanted to make sure that I had stuff going on because I didn't want to be so wrapped up in the kids. Let's see, we're going to do just a little bit of a highlight here. I didn't want to be so wrapped up in the kids that when they suddenly don't need me anymore, I'm just like, well, now what do I do? You know? So, I mean, it's busy, yes, but it's a good busy. Okay. Well, and little Steve will start doing after school activities next year, so we'll be doing a lot of that. But I do think about that. There was, you know, every day when I see them getting older and more mature, and I'm just like, oh, you guys are getting too big. You're growing too fast. Okay, let's do... Oh, I can imagine. Well, yeah, Marilyn, for sure. And being on call is rough. Like, being on call is rough because it's like you feel like you're constantly waiting for that, you know, work phone to ring. All right, we're going to do some indigo. It's a little bit too wet. I don't know. I feel like diamond painting might be a little too niche, but we live close to Austin, so there may be some people in the area that enjoy diamond painting and might, because I don't even know how that would work with shipping if like I posted it somewhere else. His first lunch with his friend group from Monday at 1:30. I was ecstatic and also sentimental. He's growing up and making friends. Oh, right. Yes. You know, little Emily really struggled when we first moved here, and now she's, you know, more confident. She's got her own friend group, and I'm just like, oh, when did that happen, you know? Even still, like I was talking with my mom the other day, and we were talking about my birthday and how I'm going to be 40 this year. And for her, on her side of it, she's just like, you know, weird for her because, you know, now her third kid is, you know, going to be 40 and up. Like, that by itself has got to be a little, like, a little disconcerting. Okay. So I feel like I want to define the swirls a little bit more. So let's go in with sky blue, actually. Is it periwinkle blue? Is this sky blue? No, that's cobalt blue. Sky blue is in this yes, sky blue. So we're gonna go with sky blue, and I want to add just a little bit of color to that. Thanks. I love diamond painting, but haven't made the time. I still need to finish the 7 Dwarf. Right? Yeah, that Scott Howden one, I really, really like it. And I really want to do it at some point. But there just isn't time. I mean, how many years did it take me to do the one that Belinda sent me? Is that dark enough? Yeah, I think that could work. Like ages. But I've got a handful of them stacked over here, and I'm just like, I was just thinking about it last night. I'm like, I just don't think I'm going to have the time. But like, how would I even go about like shipping it, right? Seems like an awkward thing to ship. Okay, so we're just toning down the glow just a little bit. I think we need to bring out a little bit of white too. Finish the 5-foot Disney villains one I should really hang up. Ooh, that's cool. Yeah, I've done a few of them, but it's like, logistically, I'm imagining myself sitting down to do that, but I'm just like, I have like 3 big paintings, like personal project paintings that are a work in progress. I have a bajillion things I want to crochet. Like, I've got all of these things, but it's like, when will I find the time? By my iPad, I heard you're going to be 40. I guess just turned 40, but I told him he'll forever be my baby. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, it was really nice. I was out running some errands the other day, and where I was at, I was buying something, but we had to wait a little bit because we were waiting on a coworker to get some. So the girl and I were just sitting there chatting and talking about the kids or whatever. And I brought up I'm 40. She's like, oh, you don't. Now, granted, she's probably like 20 something. But she's like, you don't look like you're 40. I'm like, oh, thanks. I mean, I'm not there yet, but, you know, I'll get there. It's funny, though, because we've reached that age where our place becomes the more dedicated hangout spot, mostly because we are getting to be in our group of friends like the couple that's the most established. Like, we've got a bigger place, like all that kind of stuff. And that's just weird to get used to. But even still, like, I've talked to like my older sisters about perimenopause and perimenopause. I'm not there yet, but you know, within the next decade it'll happen. So I was asked, because I know when my mom went through menopause for her, but I was just like, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to go through the same thing. So I was talking to my older sisters. I was like, okay, so for women who share my same genetics, how's it going for you? What kind of timeline am I looking at? Youngest twins will be 25 soon. Oh my gosh. It for me too, and that's the thing. Like my nieces and nephews, they've graduated high school. They're headed off to college. Like, they're doing all this stuff, and it's just like, gosh, it seems like a long time ago, but it also doesn't seem like a long time ago. You know what I mean? Okay, we're gonna lighten this just a bit because I'm trying to remember. This is also supposed to be like, we're going for pastel theme here. So I just looked at it as a whole, and I'm just like, this is too dark for what we're doing. So we're gonna lighten this a bit. In fact, we're gonna go in with the silver. I was kind of going in automatic mode, and I forgot to take into account everything else. Our youngest is now 70. Oh my gosh, B, that's right. B, if you're okay with it, can you remind me, because I've got a vague memory of how old you are, and only if you're okay with it. Can you remind me where you're, no, I don't even want to guess wrong, because that would be rude if I was way off base. Oh my gosh. D, I know it. Like, I know that I don't talk specifically about the kids' ages, but let's just say we're in a transition period right now, and it is weird. It is weird. Like, I don't know. I'm grateful that little Steve is still very young. Talking about him the other day, I was just like, so you feeling brave enough to stay home alone yet? And he's like, no. I'm like, okay, then we will discuss that later. Why was that held for review? That's weird. Anyone in my life that went through meno, they've all had hysterectomies. Oh, there you go. 95 until June. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. See, that's the goal, honestly. Like, you hear people, like, and of course even I is saying, it's not even that I don't want to get older. It's just that it's a bit of a mental adjustment. But to be able to reach, like, it's one of those things where I just, like, if I were to reach that, I would feel so just privileged, right? That was one of the things I really liked about working at the retirement home. I think some of our youngest ones that were in there were in their 70s, but one guy in particular, he had an aneurysm in his leg, and so he had to get it amputated. So he moved into the facility mostly because this was like kind of post-rehab, and he kind of had to relearn how to do things because he was living by himself, and he just needed to be in a place where if he fell or whatever. So, I mean, he was like 76, and that was a young one. But one of the things I really enjoyed about working there was the residents, like some of the stories they had. I absolutely loved it. I had one lady who taught me some crochet stitches. She was always up in the middle of the night. Her schedule was kind of wonky. And so because I worked night, after I did my rounds and my charting, you know, sometimes there's just waiting around to do in the evening when you're working in the middle of the night, but she was always awake. So I would go up to her room and we'd hang out and chat, and she'd tell me her stories, and it was great. Oh, absolutely. There is a part of me that wishes that my, I guess it would have been, yeah, he was my grandfather, not my great-grandfather. There was a bit of an age gap between my grandfather and my grandmother, and my grandfather was actually born at the turn of the 19th century, early 1900s, and I'm not talking like 1900s, like 1997. No, this was like 1902, 1903, or whatever. But I do wish you know, I think he was gone by the time I was born. I do wish that there had been a way I could have gotten to know him, because I can only imagine. It's because there was such a big age gap. It's always funny to me when I say, yeah, my grandfather was born in a time in which women could not vote or wear pants. You imagine the stories he would have had to tell? Like, absolutely. But that's always my funny one. I go back to him like, yeah, women's rights weren't really a thing when he was born. That came later. So we're just kind of smoothing it out so it's not super patchy. I'm not feeling the paper break down at all yet, but we may dry it here shortly. But I don't know, I didn't really get to know too many of my grandparents. We all lived kind of far apart, and my grandmother was not really an open book, so I don't remember a ton about her, but we just didn't spend that much time together. Really? Oh my gosh, right? We came across, I can't remember if it was Monopoly or Life, but we came across the game when we were at my mother-in-law's house this last summer. But it was a version of the game that was printed in the 80s, I think. Needless to say, the price to go to college in the game of life was not what it is today by any means. And I was like, what kind of dystopian nonsense is this? I don't know. Maybe we'll get lucky. We'll get to a point where groceries are a bit more tolerable. As it is right now, for a family of 4, we go grocery shopping once a week. And if it is a good week, you know, we have a budget for groceries, obviously, but there are a few things that, you know, that we maybe, you know, maybe a small thing of ice cream, or I get these little oatmeal cookie things that are gluten-free that I like to eat. Obviously, those aren't necessities. You know, weeks where we need to get cat litter or paper towels, obviously it's a little bit more. But if we come back from groceries on Sunday and it is $2.50 or under, so that's a family of 4 for a week, $2.50 or under, then that's usually a good price for us. I don't know what you guys spend a week. And I don't know, is that TMI? Am I not supposed to share how much we spend for groceries in a week? I mean, I distinctly remember my parents budgeting $100 a week for a family. We were a family of 6. So there was, I'm using aubergine now. There was my 2 older sisters, me, and my brother, and then of course my dad and my mom. And I seem to remember $100 a week was the budget. For the 4 of us too, yeah. Started journaling what I remember of my family. Wish they asked more questions or everyone passed. There's no one left to ask. Oh my gosh, B, yes. There is a book that I see advertised sometimes where it's like an interview style thing, and you sit down with, you know, your grandparents or whatever relatives, and it's like a get to know you kind of thing. I'm using aubergine, by the way. I'm moving away from black because I still want the rock to be dark, but I want to have a little bit of lighter colors too. Yeah, and I know it like also depends on the state and everything. We shop at H-E-B, which has the best prices for groceries around here. On occasion, Walmart has a better, they have a lot more gluten-free options as long as it's not expired, because that is not something that gets paid a lot of attention to. But for the most part, we shop at H-E-B. We don't have a Kroger here in town, but as it is, Kroger was always like more expensive. It was basically like Oregon's version of Safeway. Okay, let's grab our Amazonite. Today we spent maybe $300 a month for 4 of us. Oh my gosh. Wouldn't that be the dream? I can't remember how many square foot my parents had. And granted, they owned their house. So they were paying a mortgage instead of rent, but their like monthly mortgage payment was so small in comparison to like what now granted we're renting right now just because 1, the housing market is terrible. 2, when we moved here, we didn't know any of the good places. And 3, they haven't raised the rent on us since we moved here, and we've got really great landlords. So we're not really focusing on buying a house right now anyway, but my gosh, what they used to pay in house payment for I remember it was a fairly large house, but I was just like, hot dang, man. I'll take those prices again. Man, I will bulk buy things like paper towel, toilet paper, laundry detergent, and those shopping trips are considerably more, but I don't usually have to rebuild. Yes, exactly. Yeah, like things like kitty litter, like our big ticket items, kitty litter, toilet paper, paper towels. I'm thinking like we need like dishwasher pods. Yeah, laundry detergent. Yeah, so those things definitely knock it up sometimes. Okay, let's see. We're gonna do a little bit of brown, Van Dyke brown. I mean, you can spend as much or as little time as you want on these things. So if you're like, my God, why is she taking so long? Like, feel free to like move on to your next session. I just like, I go back and forth a lot until I'm happy with how something looks. And I'm not happy yet. Where I sold, I was paying less than $3. That's what I feel like it was. Like it was low like that. Like my parents probably would not have been able to afford things as well as they were had they had to pay like today's prices. Like little Emily, every now and then, you know, she's got, you know, some spending money or whatever. And so we went to Target the other day. And she had like $30, I think, that she had. We went and got the, she had a bunch of change and she went and got it, you know, exchanged. So she wanted to spend hers. And so she had gotten a few things for herself and we were checking out. She's just like, that's almost all my money. Like she didn't have that many items. She had gotten her some snacks and all of that. I was like, well, yeah, because she wanted to get Starbucks afterwards. She likes the lemonades. I was like, well, yeah, honey, it was really interesting though. There was an article of clothing that I was getting for her and the tag said $20. But if you scanned it on the app or the website or the cashier, it was $25. Target was doing one of those things where, you know, if you can't see the price tag, they're going to make it whatever online. And so I showed, because we were doing the self-checkout, so I showed the girl that was working there. I'm like, hey, this is coming up at this, but look, the price tag says this. So they honored it, but I was just like, dang, man, which tells me that the price for this item at one point was $20, but it's getting raised. 60 pounds of dog food. Ooh, yep. Oh yeah, that's the other thing, cat food, because Isis, our older kitty, she has medicated food. Even below 2K now. Oh yeah, it's crazy. Our house, and the house crashed back in 2017. I don't think we'll ever see interest rates that low go. Oh, I'm sure. We had a mortgage payment of $45 a month when we bought our first house in 1954, but my husband was earning $300 a month, had to have that amount of wage to get the FHA loan. So let's see. I always like to look up the exchange rate. So exchange rate for 1954 to today. Okay, so value of $1954. So for $300 in 1954 is equivalent to $3,614.74 today, which is just blows my mind. Blows my mind. So really, I mean, that was pretty good. But even if it was $45 a month, that's equivalent today to $542.21. So even then, that was a great price. Like $524 for a mortgage payment. Like that's great. But it's just crazy that it's gone up that much. Like it blows my mind. Because that's the thing you have to keep in mind. It's like to us, oh sure, $54 for rent. That sounds great. But it's not $54 today. But it just, yeah, it's crazy. I always like to look that up, like when I'm watching shows that are, you know, like period dramas or whatever else. I'm like, okay, so first, especially if it's like located in the UK, I'm like, first I need to calculate pounds to dollars, and then in 1912, you know. But I'm always looking up statistics and stuff like that when I'm watching those. Still. Well, that's the hope, right? Maybe someday we'll go back. Let's do indigo. Let's do indigo. But even if they were to, even if like the cost of living went down a little bit, I have a hard time imagining that like bigger companies like Walmart and stuff would backpedal to previous prices. They know that we'll still pay the price that it is now, so why on earth would they change it, you know? And then by contrast, even the smaller shops still have to charge as much. Like I've had to up shipping on stuff that I send out because the shipping has changed. Brand new house was $10,200. My gosh. I was using the internet. I promise. I can't do math here. I had a website. 3,700 or no. Yeah, 37,000 for their house in the 70s. Okay, so let's go 1970 and 37,000. That's about on track. Well, no, not as much. When I was in high school, I remember, so this would have been in like 2002, 2003. My parents were looking for a house. And I remember asking them because I didn't know anything about finances. And I asked them, I was like, what's a good price for a house? Like I hadn't had that many jobs and I was always fascinated when mom or dad would say, oh, that's a good price for that. And I just remember being baffled, like, how do you know that's a good price? Like it just says it on the tag, $599. How do you know? Anyway, I know now how they knew, but I distinctly remember them telling me that the average price for a house where we lived at then, you wanted to get around 300,000. But that was in 2002-ish. So 309,000, that's a great price for 2002. But these days, yeah, not as much. In a month for mortgage, food, car, etc. That would have been pretty quick, I think. Yeah. Yeah, and again, I don't even know. We haven't even bothered looking like what monthly mortgage, because it's just not an option for us right now. And honestly, the market is just so chaotic. I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm good. We'll just stay here. It's 12,800. See, that's the thing. I would have a hard time living in the bigger cities, and like owning an apartment is normal, I suppose, when you know, there's not that much property around. But like in my mind, when I buy like a place, but you know, in Korea, people will buy apartments and everything. Like it just depends on where you live, but it's still just so different. Okay, I'm putting a little bit of aubergine here, and I'm really just going back and forth. I'm here for houses and need some TLC. Yeah, and that's a big part of it too. It has to do with where you're living. I mean, for goodness sake, if we were in New York proper, right, downtown New York, you pay $1,900 a month for a closet and a shoe rack big enough to hold one shoe. Okay, let's get a little bit of our, let's see, of our lime green. Here I was thinking we do all 4 rocks. No, I'm too hyper-fixated. Like I want to get it to a point where I'm happy with it. The paper's holding up really well though. So can't complain about that. You know what? Actually, no. We're going to go to sky blue and we're going to bring in the glow just a bit. How he paid 5 cents a gallon for gas. His car got less than 12 miles to the gallon. Oh my gosh. The prices in Texas are pretty decent for gas, but that's because we're so close. You know, the oil doesn't have to travel all that far. However, in Oregon, when we go to visit, we're just like, oh my gosh, because the prices. 89 cents a gallon in the early 90s. Oh my gosh. I distinctly remember, you know, when I was freshly 18 and on my own, you know, funds was not something I had a lot of. And I remember like working at the fast food restaurant job I had and knowing that my car was short on gas, but $5 would get me quite a bit. At least a you know, couple gallons worth. But the pricing in Oregon, like, for gas is so high. Like it's always different here. My parents travel a lot, so my dad likes to send us updates of gas prices in various parts of the country. It's always really interesting. Still almost $4 a gallon. I want to say we're at 2 something where we're at right now. Watched a thing on Netflix. It was literally a closet and they wanted to that ride didn't even have a bathroom, right? It's like, always reminds me, you know, like Call the Midwife when they talk about how, you know, there's a shared bathroom for all the flats and everything. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what it's going to be like. Are out of control. Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, cost of living up there in the Pacific Northwest is, It's always been high, but I distinctly remember when we were moving down here, the like rent prices were and housing prices were considerably lower in comparison. Why am I doing green on there? That needs to be yellow. Okay, let's go back to our sky blue real quick. This is also how a page takes me forever to finish because I keep working on one thing, but it's just I want to get it how I want it to look. No point in doing the page if I'm not going to do it right, or at least to the standard that I want it to be. Bought a house in the same tract of homes as we did. Mom lived in hers till she died in 1999. We sold for $170,000 years ago. Same house sold for $250,000. Oh my gosh, B, 5 years ago. That's right. There was that massive spike. We had some friends where we live. We don't live there anymore. But we had some friends who had a house and I don't know how many acres. They had a good amount of property, so big that they had horses, and they had this little foresty area and this little creek. And yeah, somebody offered them like, hey, can we buy your house from you kind of thing? And it was like $500,000. And I was just like, oh my gosh. But they're like, yeah, nah, we're going to keep it. Bye, Dawn. Thanks for being here. But like I've seen those videos where somebody will go into like Hobby Lobby or Lowe's or Home Depot and they'll ask the older generations like, hey, how much did you buy for your house? And sure, they'll say it's only this much, but what they forget is inflation. $300 then was not the same as $300 it is now. You've got to do the translation. You can't just say, oh, it's, $100 a month for rent. No, you got to calculate, okay, well, what is that equivalent to today? I mean, it still was a great price, then, but 3 bedrooms, 1 bath attached, double garage. What do we have here? So we're in a 2-story. I mean, I'm able to have an office. We got pretty lucky with this one. And because of who we rent from, it's not some big nameless company. And it's really great because they don't rate, like they like us as renters. Like we take good care of the house. We're low maintenance, like in the 2 some odd years that we've lived here, like we barely ever contact them for stuff. And I think they appreciate that. So they don't raise the rent on us, which is great. And there's space around here. It's just, yeah, it's nice. Okay, so we're still just using that sky blue because again, I want to keep that pastel look for the rocks. I'm still not entirely happy with this area, but we'll work with it. Okay, let's go in with the white. Okay. And again, we're just taking directly from the pastels. Rent properties, but the horror stories, right? Yeah. Yeah, well, the interesting thing is this house that we're renting, it was on the market for a while. And when I saw that, my immediate instinct was like, oh, there must be something wrong with it, or something wrong with the people who own it, or, like it was one of those, this is way too good to be true kind of thing. Well, we live near college town and everything. And the fact of the matter is they were just holding out for someone good. Like this was their first step into realty and they didn't want to be saddled with tenants that would just, trash their house or whatever. So that wasn't that anything was wrong with it. They were just really picky about it. And so, along comes this, future, he's got his PhD now, but at the time, future doctorate, right? And a nuclear family, and everybody seems chill and not crazy. And they're like, absolutely. So I was like, sweet. All right. Because Steve and little Steve, like they, I think little Emily was sick or something. So she and I didn't actually get to go look at the houses when they were house hunting. So little Steve took it upon himself to report back quite efficiently. And it was adorable. And he loved his job. Be super selective and it would sit empty. Yeah, because this had been empty for almost a year. And of course, as a renter, when you see that there's a house that's open and has been open for a while and you're just like, okay, so what's the catch? What's wrong with it kind of thing? And there wasn't anything. They were just waiting for the right tenants and that turned out to be us. And I'm like, hey, works for me, dude. And like I said, we've only had like a few things go wrong with the house, but they always get it fixed. Like, yeah, it's real nice. Okay, so we're just outlining some of this here. Can't complain. And it really, like, you know, I don't know. There's this kind of image that it's just like, oh, once you reach a certain age, you know, like I said, Steve is 40 now. I'm creeping up on 40. So it's like there's this stigma of you need to own a house and property by the time you're 40. But the fact of the matter is the world that was a world when we were kids and, you know, the instructions we were given about what it means to be an adult, it just doesn't work that way anymore. And we're so much happier just chilling here, you know? So I'm like, no, I'm happy to stay right here until either Steve gets a different job or, you know, something comes up. But everything about the economy is just bonkers right now. And I'm like, I'm not in any hurry to leave anywhere. I really like that white line. I think that's helping a lot. However, I want to make this just a little bit darker. Let's do a little bit more indigo. So yeah, I am perfectly happy to stay put. And unless something were to, you know, some sort of job opportunity were to fall on our laps, just the town itself, we have no desire to move away. The kids are finally, you know, they've got their friend group and they're finding their rhythm. You know, it's always hard for kids whenever they move to a new place. Again, I know it seems like I'm taking forever on this, but I feel like this, the way the shadow is, it makes it look like it's a cut into the rock. I want to fix that. One more move in with us after our kids graduate. Yeah, and that's the other thing too, is we've already talked with little Emily and little Steve, and we're just like, look, you don't, unless you really want to, I'm like, you don't need to feel the need to rush out and move out of the house really quickly. Like, whatever you need to do, we are happy to be your safe landing while you navigate what it is to be an adult. And they're like, yeah, that works for us. Has too many stairs. Ooh, yeah, I could see that. So we've got 2 stories. So we've got 1 flight of stairs. I know, it's definitely no, you know, apartment on the 2nd floor. Honestly, I'm so glad not to. The thing of it is like, I decorate like we lived in an apartment previously because, like our living room, we don't have a TV down there or anything. I have the couches and stuff along the wall, and it just gives us this really big open space downstairs. And then all of our electronics and everything are upstairs. So there's no, like, you know, everybody's got their phones these days anyway. So if we're going to settle down and watch a movie together as a family, we've got the, you know, we've got the upstairs to do it. So I just have a very open floor plan downstairs and I love it. Welcome back, Kim. And so my sister and her family came to visit, and that was one of the first things. They're like, oh my gosh, you've got so much space. And I was like, well, it's a normal amount of space, but it has to do with how we arranged the furniture, you know? Apartment living again. I hate it here. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. And I always had this thought in the back of my head, you know, intrusive thoughts in a way, but it was just like, oh my gosh, because we've had some pretty, sorry, but we've had some pretty idiotic neighbors in our past apartment living. And I was just like, oh my gosh, if they somehow manage to set their apartment on fire, we are screwed. And so I was always really nervous about that. And I think part of it is where I lived in high school, the homes were very close to one another. And I distinctly remember it was this house that was kind of kitty corner from us, no more than a single lane on either side space away from us. And what had happened is they had, you know, those halogen lamps with the really hot light bulbs and they're open on top. Well, they thought that it would be a great idea to lay their towel over the top of it and use it to dry their towel. And they left their house with the light still on with their wet towel draped Grossy, with their wet towel draped over their light of this very, very hot light bulb. And unsurprisingly, their house went up in flames. But it was so close to our house that like the house, there was no salvaging it, right? So they're just trying to put out the fire to keep it from spreading. But the flames were so close to our house that they had to stand there. Like they couldn't just hose it down once and move to the next one. No, they had to stay there and continuously spray our house to keep the fire from jumping over to ours. Like that's how close it was. So it's got me like in this permanent paranoid thing now where I'm just like, if my neighbors set their stuff on fire, like we're all going down. So whenever we had new neighbors, I was like, okay, are these ones going to set everything on fire? I don't know. Okay, I actually want to bring in a little bit of emerald that will kind of smooth out with the yellow green because it's still not as stark as I'd like. I mean, I'm just making this up as I go along and I'll keep adding color until I've got it looking the way I want it to look, you know? All right, so now let's grab the yellow green. But this will give me lots to catch up on when we go next week, because I don't want to work on this for like weeks and weeks. I don't want to do that to you guys. Okay, so we're going to grab the yellow green and we're going to blend that through. The Neocolors stay wet a little bit longer now that I have so many layers on here. So I can still move it around a little bit, which works. I mean, and we still have close neighbors. Like we share a fence line with them. But the only complaints I have here is, well, actually, you know, I was really impressed with how the neighbors, like, despite the fact that their dogs broke into our yard and broke the fence, they did fix it. They fixed the fence. They rectified the situation on their side. They actually had someone come in and install these metal plates down into their ground, like back under the fence so the dogs can't dig through anymore, which I thought was really great. And they came over and they brought dirt to fill in the hole that the dogs dug when they were coming over to our place. They replaced the fences. So I was really impressed, despite, you know, it took a little bit longer, but I was really impressed with their attitude and getting it fixed. Granted, we had to go through the HOA to get them to do it, but once they did it, it wasn't just a, you know, pardon my French, it wasn't just a half-assed job. They actually like went above and beyond to make sure it wasn't going to happen again. So that was nice. Our other side, there's a younger couple there. They like to, first of all, they're great cooks because it smells wonderful, but because of their age, they tend to be up a little bit later at night. And so on occasion, all of a sudden, I'll smell barbecue at 11:30 at night. Yes, Shannon. Did I say something? And I'm just like, oh man, now I want barbecue chicken. That smells really good. I get nervous. Or did you finish something in a book, or did I say something I wouldn't have said? Did I slip? Oh, because I swore. I said pardon my French before it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I offended your delicate ears. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Shannon. I'm sorry. I feel like I need to go stand in the corner, go to my room and think about what I've done. I'm sorry. Here I am thinking I slipped up and like said too much information. That's why like I've learned to gauge myself, like to think before I speak more, because I'm always worried I'm gonna spill too many personal. Granted, you know, I see those videos, and for various reasons, you know, there'll be a TikTok video where somebody would be like, for whatever reason, they're like, you know, whether it's somebody that did something wrong or somebody that, you know, it was a missed connection, like a meet cute or whatever. They're like, here's a picture. This is the town I'm in. Can someone find this person? So I'm like, gosh dang, man, with all the info I share on here, like people will probably be able to find me real easily. I said the A word. Draw a circle, get to the wall. I'm sorry. Hi, Maria, welcome. I'm sorry. Far better smell than the skunky pots. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yeah, no, right there with you. And I have a, let's just say my nose is trained enough that I can tell the difference between a skunk and not a skunk. Not because I have any personal experience at all. Anyway, moving on. I'm sorry, Shannon. I said a swears. Oh, sorry. Oh, no, I'm going to have to like change the rating on my video. They always do the checks, right? To change it. The A word. I'm sorry. All right, next time I'll say they didn't half butt the project. half took us the project. Half derriere the project. You know, honestly, Durbin, I'm kind of the opposite for that. And that's because if you're around when a skunk sprays, like, and it's fresh, it's not just that smell. Like, you can tell the difference because the skunk smell. Well, that one's still the word, but just in, you know, proper English. When you're around a freshly sprayed skunk, like, it's sour. I distinctly remember we were at the kids' school and the moms and I, think of it as too, I'm going to sidetrack, because I'm going over this so much, it's going to give me I'm going to be able to streamline these rocks so much better after I'm done with this. Right, Shannon? But we were out there and a skunk actively sprayed when we were all standing out there. It wasn't right next to us. We didn't see it, but we could smell it. And over the course of 5 minutes, it just got worse and worse and worse to the point where your eyes are watering. Because at first we were like, oh my gosh, is someone smoking near the preschool? Like what? And then it was like sour. Your eyes were stinging. And we're like, oh, dear God in heaven. So if I had to choose between the two, I would probably choose not the skunk smell. Yes, that is also very true. That is also very true. I have family members that have a medical license for it. And so, yeah, there's definitely a difference between good and not as good. But yeah, I'd probably take that smell over it any day. It's permanently in their car. Well, yeah, and if you're sensitive to smells, that's about as bad as if someone was a regular smoker and their clothes just reeked of it, right? Hi, Miss Guns. Thank you. Yeah, I've been going back and forth on this one rock, like adding bits and pieces. But that's, you know, because I'm kind of making this up as I go along about how I want it to look. I'll add things, I'll take away things. So once I have this rock done, knowing what I did to make it look the way I do with, you know, like I'm happy with it, then I will be able to streamline the process for doing the other ones as well. So right now I'm just trying to get this to a point where I like it. Really? Like it gives you a headache or like, excuse me, or like your throat closes up? Like what kind of allergy? I mean, you don't have to share if you don't want to. I was just curious. Like little Steve, he's allergic to dye, so we have to watch with that. He's actually really good at self-regulating that. Like if there's a birthday party at school, he'll take off the sprinkles, like individual ones. I think it's cute. He's a very responsible little guy. Okay, let's go ahead and grab our lime green again. It's full on sprayed because I was the only one brave enough to rescue the poor thing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know, you see movies where they're like, oh yeah, we got to do a tomato bath. So is there like, I don't know, do tomatoes actually work to get rid of that smell? I remember when I was younger, we didn't live in the country, but we lived in a small town and we were on the outskirts of it. So we were surrounded by forest. And so on occasion, a skunk would get under the house and it would spray. And that was just the worst because the spray, like it lingered in the house. And then when we go to school, like we couldn't shake the smell because like it just penetrated everything in our house. So we'd have to go to school smelling like skunk. And I was just like, oh, come on. Like, what do you do when they spray your whole house, you know? Oh, yeah. Tomato juice helps. Use peroxide, baking soda, and tomato on my clothes after letting them sit outside for a few days. Yeah. Yeah, because it's not like the skunk would spray us directly, but it would, let's see, we're going to do the indigo, but it would spray and it was just the worst. And I think we're going to do a little bit of black just on this side. Like I said, I'm kind of making this up as I go along, and once I get something looking, you know, then I'm like, okay, what changes can I make to this to make it, I feel like I'm making it look more concave. Let's do some lighter, let's see, let's grab the silver. Yeah, no, that's fair. Especially if it makes you like physically ill, absolutely. Okay, yeah, I like that a little bit better. Gosh, time flew today, didn't it? What did you guys get in today? I painted half a rock. Oh, don't mind me. I'm just vibing, man. We got this. I just want to smooth this out because it still looks a little rough. But I can feel the paper is starting to get a little fed up with me. But it's looking better. I like that. Maybe I need to get rid of this line. Maybe that one didn't really work all that great there. Just smooth that out a bit. Oh my gosh, I keep going back and forth on this thing. Paperwork, organizing some of my art supplies. Nice. I need to give this paper a break because I can feel that it's starting to pill up. It's not where I want it to be at yet. But yeah, maybe I'll save one of the rocks, and once I figure out exactly how I want the rest of it to look, I can show you guys like what else I added to it. Like I said, my goal would be to get caught up with this by next stream. Also, I noticed this today. Check it out. See if I can move it there. There we go. 23,958. We're almost at 23,000. That's super exciting. So if you missed it, just a couple reminders. I showed off this thing. I did a reel for it. I've got it in the plastic now. I don't know what I want to do with it yet, but it turned out really pretty. If you wanted just another little preview of the recent episodes that went up, we've got the neon and we got this one done. That was a lot of fun. I don't know what I'm going to do for the next page, but I will think it out. I feel like I should, because I don't know that we did. I don't think we did anything for the 20K, right? It's just been crazy busy, but yeah. I think maybe we should. That could be fun. And then this will go up in the shop, a little Fairy House radio. This will go up in the shop once I have it colored. I don't want to announce it. It really did. It really, but I just feel like, see, I like how that's looking, by the way. That's nice. I feel like this, like the past year or so has just been constant go, go, go. Like between kids stuff, I've had medical stuff, like there's so much going on. But yeah, in the meantime, because like our next stream is going to be the 23rd, and then we'll have one on the 30th. Almost got my foot caught on the cord. I'll double check the dates. Right, Durbin? I feel you on that. Yeah. But I've got a link for it that'll take you to Piggy Pens' video. But we're going to be doing a tubeathon. So if you haven't heard about it yet, we're going to be doing a tubeathon, raising money for charity. So it'll be great. I'll reshare more information, on my community tab. But my other goal before the end of the month is to get caught up on squares and get the thing out that's going to raffle off the rest of the squares. Because I know that there's a lot of you that still want squares but haven't had a chance to get them, and it doesn't help that I'm streaming less too. So it's like you can't save up the money for it. And I want everybody to have a chance to get a square if they haven't already. Because I mean, look at this. We got so many. So it's great. But yeah, so I think I'm going to head out because this paper is going to scream me if I add any more to it. But it's very close to me being happy. I think I want to darken this up just a little bit. We're going to make this pop. There's a few things. Like I said, our goal is to go for like Atlantis, the heart of Atlantis. Come on. Yes. Oh yeah, and absolutely. Yeah, you guys can donate points. Absolutely. Well, so what we're gonna do, what I'm gonna do for the giveaway, rather than based on points, for the giveaway, because there's I think 13 squares left. So I'm gonna put in there, this is what I have, and we're gonna do a raffle. Whoever doesn't have a square yet can have an equal chance to win for everybody else, and then I'll just roll it. So it'll literally be squares given away. However, I'll have to figure out a way I can do it. Maybe like people can, like if you're, because you can give your points, like it's like exclamation point give. I'll have to look up the exact code. But then those that get points, they can spend them on like charms or whatever. So, and my membership login. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think what we'll do, maybe I'll do two docs, right? I'll have one, or not document, not chart, not sheets. My brain's not braining. Forms, Google Forms. Maybe I can have 2 forms where one is for the giveaway for the remainder of the squares, and then another one is for those that want to disperse their points to everyone else. That could work. Because I think it would be hard for me to keep track of all the emails of people saying, hey, I want to do my points for such and such a thing. So like I can do a Google form where it says, you know, your YouTube name, because I have to have it exact. Otherwise, I have to scroll through everything because like I can't even, if I get the caps wrong, it doesn't pop up. So I have to have it exact. And so you can say, this is my screen name. This is points I want to donate to like the points pot and go from there. So yeah, absolutely. That's the other thing is I need to photo. Angela, I think you have, yours is right here. You have got 4. You've got 4. Because like I said, it'll take me a little while to get caught up. So if we have the raffles all before the end of the month, and then we could have all of the squares done by the end of February. I think, bye Sue. I think that that's practical enough to try and get done. Possibly. Okay, I'm gonna head out. I need to go eat some lunch. It's nice chatting with you all. I know it seems like it's forever since we go between these, but we're here. We do it, you know, keep up on the socials for other crafts. I said other crafts, not other craps. And yeah, we're gonna get stuff up, and I'm excited to show you guys the download for next month. Did you guys, I know people are already leaving. So did you guys want to see the work in progress for the download for next month? Because I can grab it. But if you want to be surprised, that's fine too. But it's a typewriter. It's not done yet. Yes? Okay, let me grab the iPad. It's not done yet. I still have more that I want to add, but the bulk of it is done. So you'll get an idea of what it's going to look like. So hang on. I'm really excited about this one. Let's see. It's loading. Give it a sec. Why is it taking so long to load? Hello? Hang on. I think I need to. There we go. Okay. Make sure. Yeah, we're good. Wow, it's weird and frozen. Hang on. I swear we are leaving at some point here. I think I need to restart it. Okay, well maybe, oh no, here we go. Okay, all right, there we go. Anyway. There we go. So where the blue sketch is, that's where I'm still adding stuff. And I'm going to have stuff on the sides. I want to have plants growing like within the keys. So there's still a lot more to go, but I am really excited about this one. I think it's cute. So yeah, old typewriter. Any hoozle. Yeah, I'm excited to share it with you guys, and I want to get it colored to socials and stuff, not just like here on YouTube, but like Facebook and Instagram responded really well to the stuff that was already previously colored. And I know people want to do colors alongs for them, which we can do more on the channel the more I put out, but because I can only stream once a week, it's just not super practical. Anyway, all right, I'm going to head out, go get some lunch. Thank you guys for being here. I guess I'll see you next Friday, the 23rd. So yeah. All right. Keep being awesome. I'll chat with you all later. All right. Bye.